And just like that, it's 3:00. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as you can see, it's me in my studio waiting for technical issues backstage with Shamela. She lost sound just before we were due to go live. And I can see she has hopped back into hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me now?
What a way to start. We always have these.
How to get the stress levels like
Sorry, Belinda.
breathe. Just breathe. We're all good.
I'm back.
And of course, we have Maidel in the house. We have Roberta from Portugal.
Hi, Roberta.
We have Jill. Thank you, thank you,
Hi,
thank you.
Jill.
Yes, we're all well. And my hubby's just brought me coffee. Thank you.
Oh, you lucky girl. I've got water.
Oh, it's probably much more healthy for you. Hello, Sarah. Sarah's been doing gorgeous projects online. People, you have to go and find them. Hello, Agnieszka, another person that makes amazing projects. Everybody,
Hi,
I mean, you guys rock. You know, I'm always blown away.
I love her stuff.
Tracy, hello. We have Renee from
Renee, that's Renee van Wyk.
Renee van Wyk. Renee.
She's the moderator on my group, yes, on my tutorial page.
Yes, you have an awesome group that people must go and find as well.
You must join us.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. It's Kanya Crafts
Tutorials.
Okay, let me just find.
So we meet every Wednesday evening. At the moment, we're starting at 8:30.
Can you spell Kanya for me? I'm being
Kanje.
Kanje. Kanya Crafts. Okay, here we go.
Crafts
Found you. Crafts with a K.
Yeah.
And we have got your. Let me just. No.
There's two pages. There's a business page and there's a tutorial page.
Okay, the page where. Okay, I think I found your tutorial page where you go live. Yeah. Yes, I found that one. So
last night we just chatted about what we're planning to do for part of the year. So one of the projects we're tackling is a calendar. So for 2023, so at the end of the year, hopefully everyone will have a calendar for next year.
That's a good way of doing it. I keep saying I'm going to start my Christmas cards already.
No, we always do that, and we still wait till November.
The crunch at the end of the year is real. Okay, I have put the link in all the chats.
Thank you.
Okay, we have got Sharon saying hello.
Hi, Sharon.
We have Lucia saying
hi, Lucia.
Buenos dias, buenas tardes.
Buenos dias.
Hola, that's the easiest.
I have no idea what that is. I love the fact that we get the opportunity to read foreign languages if we mess it up.
And often I'll sit at my desk and just have Stamperia in the background at either 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock whenever they're live and listen if I can. Sometimes, I kind of
love the sound of the foreign tongue. I do.
Absolutely. It's gorgeous. And especially as in South Africa, we don't really learn we don't have those opportunities to learn Spanish or French or whatever in schools. You learn the local Afrikaans or one of the other 11 languages.
Yes. We are blessed with 11, 13 languages in our country.
It's crazy. I get asked here often, so what languages do you speak? And I'm like, English, some Afrikaans, now some German, and very little isiXhosa. And they always go, say that again. And I'm like, isiXhosa with the click.
I won't even attempt it.
Okay, I am going to go and find a video to play so that you can turn your camera around. Okay, what have I got here to put? Okay, okay, I'm going to put the pizza winner on and discuss that for a minute while you change cameras. Okay,
perfect.
Right, so we had, this is not this last week's winner. I'm not sure who that pizza winner is, but I'm going to switch to, oh no, we can still see her changing cameras. Sylvia Gabito had the most amazing presentation of her beautiful new line called Casa Granada. And I know that some people have already managed to get hold of samples from Stamperia who sent them out, and projects have been made and posted online already, and they are just gorgeous. Those colors are just delicious. And I'm not just talking about the pomegranate that's on it being delicious. So I can't wait to see what people make with it once it reaches all the stores and people manage to purchase it. So don't forget to contact your stores and make sure that they have pre-ordered for you, and they will then let you know as soon as your stock arrives. And I can see that we are now ready. And we have Patricia saying, Hola, Shamela. And Agnieszka saying she especially loves the molds from the new collections. Yes, they are all gorgeous. I, of course, am a little bit biased towards the new gorgeous African line by Christina. And I'm going to give you full screen. I can give you your mic back. I'm going to give you full screen. Ta-da! Can we hear you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You
Perfect.
can hear me.
I just need to see if I'm in shot quickly so I know how to adjust my camera quickly, just to make sure that we are seeing everything.
Thanks, Catherine. I do try to practice pronouncing things properly.
Here we go.
Okay, and of course, while you're settling down, don't forget that you have to put forward somebody else for the pizza box. So like Terry has put forward Vina is her name, but her online name is Sky Blue Hippie. So you need to put forward that person or people to win the pizza boxes. And don't forget to like and share the videos to be able to participate in that. And so, yes, there's Blanche. Good morning, Blanche. So there's a lot of that going on in the chat, which is great to see. I love how the Stamperia family are all supporting each other. So it does mean finding the actual comments or questions between all those in the chat, quite difficult for me to find. So if I miss a question or a comment, people, don't feel embarrassed if you have to repeat it so that I see it, or maybe even type it in capitals so that I know it. I need to really read that message. Oh, thanks, Susie. Love the videos. And you're already getting a ton of hearts from Andrea.
Oh, thank you.
And from Fernanda. And Danka's already saying, what a beautiful project. Yes, people, this is where we're going. This was Shamela's design team project for the month. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. Over to you.
Thank you so much. So this idea came to me. My granddaughter has a little Harry Potter suitcase bag like this, which she was a Harry Potter fan and she carried this around everywhere with her. So when I saw that bag, I thought, I know I can do that. Let me try. And I am so thrilled how it turned out with the Lady Vagabond papers. So I just want to show you which set of papers we'll be using. It is the SBBL 100, the background paper pack. It is absolutely stunning. This has definitely been one of my favorite papers. Oh, I love it. And it's hard to decide, do you want to use the one side or do you want to use the other side? So get to
So you just buy two.
You just buy two. We also will be using some of the bolds. And I have already started part of the project. Let me just move that out of the way. I've constructed the base already because we don't have all day here today. But you basically construct the base and the top in exactly the same way. Okay, So let's get started. I will be posting notes. I've made very, very detailed notes for you guys. So I will be posting a list of notes, and we'll tag the video in it. So if you want to refer back to it, so you don't have to worry about taking down measurements or anything like that.
Okay, just hang on a second because I've got a question from Craft Heaven. Is today's DT project up yet, Belinda? So yes, today's design team person is Samantha, and her project is on my group. It is on Instagram under my name, and it is on my blog. But this one was a previous project which Shamela posted on
It was my
the
January project.
18th of January. So yes, this is an old project that we thought was so gorgeous it warranted doing live. And I see my new DT is in the house.
Hello.
Hello, Carenza.
I have to figure out how to pronounce her name. Okay, so basically what we have are, it would be your base, and we've got the sides. The top of the suitcase is 1 inch high, and the base was 2 inches high. So I have already started with the preliminary work.
Okay, we've got a question. Sorry to interrupt again. Is it going to be in centimeters as well, Shamela?
I will try. I'm an inch girl, so I'll try and convert it for you guys.
Because I know you're going to do notes. You're very good at notes, and you will probably post them tomorrow. Or
I'll post the notes tomorrow, yes.
But if you need to convert to centimeters, it might be the next day. So post inches and then centimeters, maybe. It's up to you.
Okay. I'll just do a Google search for centimeters while I'm typing it up, and I'll put it in brackets for you. So basically, this is what I call my construction tape. And Belinda, you're familiar with it because I think I gave you some before you left South Africa.
I hoard that stuff because I can't find it locally here.
So it is like a gaffer tape, but it's got a fabric outer. And I have to say that this is not a conventional scrapbooking or crafting product. It's probably from the hardware. But I saw it in a shop and I thought, I'm sure that's going to work for me. So I use this tape for all my construction, especially if it needs to be a movable hinge. This one works for me. And also if I want to neaten raw edges of chipboard, like here. So what happens is, once this is on, when you add your pattern paper, you've automatically got a border. The other option is you can add paint to it, or you can add a paper strip if you want. But this is so nice and thin, it just works beautifully.
Yeah, and it's pre-sticky and it's easy.
It's very sticky and very easy to use. So all I'm doing is, let me see, I hope I'm eyeballing it straight here. And chipboard, and this is very forgiving, so if you do go skew, it's not a big problem. You just do it over again. And I do have a video on my YouTube channel, how to construct a little mini album using this tape. It is the fastest way I have ever made an album.
And you're not slow, so I can't imagine how fast that must be.
It's super fast. Super fast.
Is that the one tape one uses to bind photocopy papers? I'm not sure, Vina.
It's exactly like a gaffer tape. It's got, if you look at gaffer tape,
it's fabric tape is what it really is.
It's fabric.
Yeah.
If you crafty like we are, then you look at things in a different way. So I saw this tape. I asked for a roll to try, and it worked. So A for away.
Yeah, you can always use the black Allegro paint on the edges of the chipboard as well.
Yeah, I do that.
That's usually what I use.
Sometimes if you
we don't have a name for this tape, Charlene. It's just tape. We're trying to describe it so people around the world can find it, because it's just,
Go
you
to
know,
your
one of those
hardware
things from a hardware
store.
store, you know.
Go to your hardware store. I think
Or
the
just use
best
paint,
place.
or just use black cardstock. It's also easy.
That's what I used to do in the beginning. I just used to paint the outer edges. But because it's porous, chipboard is a porous material, it does tend to wear away a little bit. You know, it gets a
Yeah.
bit bloated.
Okay, so we've got a few solutions. Corinda says in Australia we call it black bookbinding tape. Crafty I Am says black cloth binding is kind of like a fabric.
There we go.
Or it could be called book guard. Yes, there's lots of.
You
so
can
it's not
even
a Stamperia
check
product. It's just a nice to know about, kind of hunt
Yeah.
it down and find it product.
Check at your bookbinding shops, at your hardware store. So generally my joiners are about 2 inches wide, but because this was an offcut and I'm all about not wasting, so I'm going to use this piece as it is. I use 250 weight black cardstock for my joiners. I lean towards using black for most things, but if you prefer a lighter shade or white or whatever, go with what you normally use. But I prefer, I generally prefer black, because I find that black works for almost everything. So now my 3/4 inch tape has disappeared. So let's go with this one.
And that's just normal double-sided tape.
Yeah, this is just score tape. I brought in some score tape just as a try, because I wanted to see what it works like. But gee whiz, is it expensive here? It's not worth it, actually.
No. It's nice
Definitely
as it is.
No, not worth it for us. So, and for these things, you do need end-to-end coverage of tape, because this is what holds your project together. And I have to say that I have learned a lot about construction. There are 2 people, and the one is, you can check them out on social media. The one is Jim the Gentleman Crafter, and the other one is Kathy King. She's
Jim
amazing.
the Gentleman Crafter that has the
he's got a Facebook page.
I know, but there's 2 Jim Gentleman Crafters out there. It's a bit confusing sometimes.
Oh, is it? He's the one with the top hat. Does that help?
Yes.
So we need 4 joiners in the long end, and we also need 4 for the short sides. Okay, and now we're going to construct. I've prepped all this already, because you didn't need to watch me cover and score everything, but it will be in your notes.
A little bit of information that I didn't know. Bookbinding tape has no glue on it. You need to add bookbinder's glue. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, bookbinding tape doesn't have glue. It looks like almost like muslin. So I'm taking off the tape on the one piece, and we're starting with the long end first. And for me, this is quite important, because this is how I ensure that my project remains perfectly square. And the being fairly accurate here is a little bit important, otherwise your box isn't going to be straight.
We could have a parallelogram.
What I suggest you could do is, if you feel you're going to go skew, is use your scoreboard and use the top of your scoreboard to butt the 2 pieces up against it, and then you can make that join.
Very, very clever. No wonder we're friends. I like clever people.
I have to figure out ways to make my life easier.
Yeah, sometimes like I always say I'm a lazy crafter, in which case I actually look for ways to make my life easier and solutions like this.
So there we go. That piece has been attached. And I'm going to do the other side. So we first do the two long ends. And when I do the other piece, you'll see why. Just pull off the tape here. Okay.
Yes, Tyvek is another stuff that I see a lot of people using, but it isn't always readily available everywhere. It's a very strong stuff.
I stock Tyvek in South Africa. I searched high and low to find it. Yeah, I have to be honest. It wasn't easy to find. But it's really nice for spines and stuff. But I find that this tape works so much better for me because it's self-adhesive. I don't need to worry about still adding glue, etc. So this one looks too wide. Did I cut it wrong? Yep, I'm just going to trim this slightly.
Where I am, it's hard to find Tyvek full stop. So yeah, I know Cal Summers made the most amazing briefcase album book. I don't know what all to describe it. It was the most amazing thing right at the beginning when Lady Vagabond original came out, and she used Tyvek for the spine.
I must try and post you some. It's not heavy, it's so light.
Yeah, but we all know what the South African post is like.
We'll have to ask Francis to do a courier thing. So I have cut this to 6 inches, but when you actually place it, you'll see whether you need to trim it off or not. It depends on how far apart you put your two sides. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's why you have to do the two sides first.
All our goodies will come out differently because of it being a handmade item, so it's not going to be exactly the same.
Karenza buys it in bulk, this Tyvek.
Me too. When I just started out using it, I bought so much, and then I found the tape. So I've kind of leaned more towards the tape because it's easier to use.
I must say, I lean more towards gluing stuff because I have some projects. When I packed up my whole studio in South Africa to come to Berlin, there were some projects I took off my display shelf and they literally fell apart in my hands because everywhere that I had used anything with pre-adhesive stuff, it had dried out and it just fell apart. So
I know. That's why I don't use regular double-sided tape for my projects because it just doesn't last. That the glue on those double-sided tapes just wear out, especially the ones we get here. I've got very little faith in it. I'll use it for cards, because it's not something that needs to last. Yeah, because mostly
people don't keep their cards. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. It's a little bit tricky with the camera down in the middle.
And also, it's, I don't know, there's something about being live that makes whatever you're doing extra tricky.
It is.
Okay. So you're constructing what now? The lid or the base?
The lid.
Okay.
The lid. The base is done. And
it's exactly the same construction?
Them both exactly the same way. They are made exactly the same way. Okay.
Hello, Elvie.
Now we've got joiners for the base, because as it is here, this is not going to hold together. So you need to place joiners on the flip side as well. And I start on the base piece like that. And then because we've got that, because this is a 2mm chipboard, so it's like almost 1 almost like 1/8 of an inch. It's not, that score line is not enough to accommodate for that piece. So what you need to do is to just train the paper, or kind of score it and fold it so that it will accommodate for that extra piece of chipboard on the side there. Does that make sense?
Yes. Paper training. Here we come.
Paper training.
Paper training 101.
Giving your paper memory. Here's my other one. And we do the same on the opposite side.
Kim
So
has
I've
the advantage.
actually,
They've got big ice storms and snowstorms in the USA, so
wow.
she's off work today, so she gets to catch the live. Hello, Kim.
Oh, awesome. There's one perk to then being a snowstorm. So we'll do the same with this side.
Yeah, and Karenza, it must be midnight where you are there, so we really, really, really appreciate you being up, and any other Oz people in the middle of the night.
What's the time there now?
I know 3 p.m. is midnight for her, I think. They have different time zones too.
Oh, yes, of course. The country's big. Okay, and we're doing the other ends.
It's 1:30 a.m. Good grief.
1 a.m.
1:30 a.m. I hope you had an
my
afternoon
word.
nap and that you haven't just been up till this ridiculous o'clock. Please don't feel like you have to watch all our lives, Karenza. That's just redonkulous.
You can catch up.
You can watch us afterwards.
In South Africa, we have DSTV catch-up time, so you can
Oh,
catch
there we
up.
go. Tina's saying in Western Australia it's only 10:30.
Oh, that's not so bad.
And Gayleen says it's 1:38 a.m. She's supposed to be asleep. We appreciate you being here. Don't get us wrong. We love that you're coming to watch us. I just feel bad.
I just feel special now. Because...
True. Very true.
Okay.
Good point. Karenza's handle on Instagram and everywhere else is Zombie Craft Mom. So she says, why do you think I'm known as Zombie Craft?
Okay.
Good point.
Understood. It's like Olga, the night owls.
Oh, I see. So Olga's another night owl, and so is Samantha.
I need my sleep, unfortunately. I'm terrible.
Crafters never sleep. Good.
This crafter has to sleep some. Although if I have a deadline, then we know we have work.
Oh yes. No, when I'm working on deadlines, then yes, I can push all ridiculous hours. But yeah, I think a lot of crafters are moms, and so they have to like wait for the family to go to bed till they can have their own time to be creative.
That's true.
Without the mom.
I'm so glad I'm over that part of my life.
Well, you probably now get Granny.
No, they've all moved out now, Belinda. I live in this house all by myself. So we've got the 4 sides done, and now we need to join the corners so that they all remain secure. And it's the same kind of thing, just shorter.
Tom gets his best crafting done when he gets up at 3:30 a.m. Oh, my soul. Oh, that's my best time to be asleep.
No ways. No ways. I was telling Shafiq this morning, I was up after 5 because we have a prayer time now in the middle of the night. And let me first tell you this. So when you're joining this one, you need to make sure that these are flush.
Okay.
Joined up. And then you just put it across. And I've gone skew there. So you can either do 2 options. Make it a little bit shorter. But the other one is, if you do go skew, just trim it away.
Yeah, because ultimately you won't see that.
You won't see that, no. So
Yes,
that's the
and
one corner.
Tina's right. She's saying it's so much nicer to watch it live than when it's happening.
It is because you
you get
have
to
the
comment and ask
company of
questions.
everybody. And so I was telling him, I was so contemplating to stay up at that time of the morning. But I thought to myself, why, Shamila? Why? What on earth do you want to be doing up this time? Just go back to bed, please.
Yeah, I know. I always try and watch them live as well. And there's often days when I'm out and about. I mean, Stamperia has 9 lives a week at the moment because there's Monday through Saturday, and then there's the I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or the 11 a.m. So Monday through Saturday, 3 p.m.
Sure.
And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday is 11 a.m. So it's very
busy.
difficult for me to watch them all. I mean, I'm so impressed. So many of you watch them all, and we are so grateful.
I have clients popping in and that, and 4 o'clock especially is when people come after work to pick up things. So it's
on their
very
way
difficult
home
for me to keep watching all. I wish I could though. And I must say, it isn't the same to watch it afterwards because you feel left out from the chat.
FOMO. I have a serious case of FOMO. And thankfully, the number of times I've been busy doing, boring household stuff that has to be done, like washing and other things. And thankfully, I have my mom who will say, Belinda, they're using Lady Vagabonds. I'll rush quickly and find my phone. I'm doing the washing and I'm watching on the side and I'm... So yes, our lives at 11 a.m. Okay, so 11 a.m. I don't know where you are from, Marianelle. Marie Noel. There I go, dyslexicating her name again. Marie Noel. And that is 11 a.m. Central European Time.
Yes.
CET.
Okay, and now we're putting the inside joiners in to hold the whole box together. So when you're constructing anything, you need the joiners because this is what holds your chipboard together. So you can, I'm so excited to share with you guys my new project. Oh my God, you can't going off the...
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Do you want me to give you a sneak peek?
You can just sneak it, sort of like sneak it. It's
standing right here.
I due for the 15th. I know, but
yeah, I was, this idea came to me from another album that I did recently on my YouTube channel. And when I saw the finished product, I thought, oh my word, but that will work for what I want to use it for. And so I'm very fortunate. I'm so grateful that I already know. I finished that project and I already know what my next one is going to be like. I just need to figure it out first because I like to construct things. So this has been, I enjoyed constructing this one. It came together quite nicely. So I'm going to be doing a class like this here. I'm starting my in-person classes again because I think COVID has had enough of us now. Well, I've had enough of it.
I think we all have.
So there we go. Lid complete. So there's my base. The test is now to see whether they fit. Okay, that's as close as it's going to be. It's not too bad.
Okay, so are they both the same size? Or are
they are both
size?
The same size, except that the base is 2 inches high and the lid is 1 inch high.
Okay, but the overall
size is
identical.
Exactly the same, identical. Okay. So now we need to add our, let me just refer to my notes because I've got very detailed notes to myself so I don't mess up on live.
And we love that about you because tomorrow we will get your very detailed notes.
Yep. So see, add corners on all 4 sides. Da, 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 da. Oh, I've gone way ahead on my notes.
You have to turn pages, do you?
Yeah. Okay. So now the inside of this lid, where's the bag? Let me show you. There's a little pocket there. So inside this thing, you can put a little mini album. So, and that's the reason why I created this little pocket here. So you could put maybe extra photo mats, etc. in there. So we're going to do the pocket. And I thought I had cut the paper, but I seem to have mislaid it. So let's do another one. Fortunately, I put paper at hand in case I lose
Welcome
stuff.
to my
Because I know I lose stuff all the time.
Here's my #1 fan, my mom, giving you lots of hearts.
So we're going to cut our black cardstock to 8.5 by 4.5. And I'm just cutting off screen.
That's fine. We don't need to see everything. We believe you. So yes, Tom is asking, he missed the beginning, is that tape that's holding it all together? Yes, we had quite a big discussion about different types of tapes that are available out there. It's not a Stamperia product. It's just what we can find at the local hardware stores. So if you don't have access to that fabric tape, you can use black cardstock, or you can just paint the edges of your cardstock with black Allegro paints. And she was actually using paper with double-sided tape to construct with. So the tape, correct me if I'm wrong, the tape was only to cover the edges.
The tape was just to neaten the edges, yes.
But
you
all
can
the rest
easily
of the
use
construction was paper.
Paper, cardstock.
Yes.
250 gram card. I just call them my joiners. And where I get my joiners from is all my little bits. You know, when you make a card and you cut off the edge of that A4, I save all of those. And when I need to make joiners, that's why normally my joiners are about 2 inches wide. But if I have a 1-inch joiner, I will use it, because why waste? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, waste not, want not.
Exactly. So this is my pocket. It was cut to, let's see again, 8.5 by 4.5 inches. Don't worry about the sizes. We shall see notes.
There will be
then I
notes.
scored 3 sides at 1/2 inch. And I've just added tape there. So we shall burnish this tape. Red tape you have to burnish, otherwise sometimes the whole piece comes off. And it's actually much more sticky than double-sided tape. Well, the version we get here. This is how I make my corners. If you've got your own way of doing it, awesome. But you know, if you cut too much away from the corner, you get that little ugly
gap.
A little gap there. And I don't like that. If I get the gap, I start over. So I do that so that I have an idea where I must do that snip. It just helps me.
Again, that's why I love you. All these clever
And
hints.
so we've scored on the one side. So you've got your dented side and you have your bubble side. And we fold towards the bubble. So we're going to construct and put the pocket into the lid before we join the two. I think it's just a bit easier to use. Now, if you look at this here, you see this not very neat. We've got that little straggler there. So there are two options. You can either cut it away, which I'm going to do. There we go. Much better. Same on that side.
While you're doing that, Sky Blue is asking, there was a comment about the rice paper with the St. Thomas's Hospital from Lady Vagabond, the first set. And so, yes, it's that sepia sort of looking one with the well-known British buildings is the one she's talking about.
Okay, so I'm going to find the center. There's my pencil of that. And then we can just scoop out that little bit there with a punch. So if you've got a die for this or a punch, doesn't matter. Just so you can see that there is a
pocket. Yeah.
And then we need to, I'm going to add my pattern paper first, so I finish it before I put it into the base. So let me see, because I've already cut up some things, I've got my bits and pieces here. I want to see if I can use this. No, it's not enough. Too complicated. Let's go with a full piece. I hate cutting up a new piece of paper.
The struggle is real. We all feel your pain.
I'm so stingy because I know I've got offcuts in my bag there. So I'm just marking with a pencil where I want to trim it off. And I'll just cut it off screen. I'll just cut it off quickly. Let's see.
So you're cutting it to make sure that there's a little border of black?
Yes, I'm going to cut it so that we've got a little border. I'm having trouble seeing my pencil mark.
And you're just winging it. You eyeballed that. You're not measuring like so many millimeters or whatever.
I haven't perfectly measured it.
Yeah, that looks good.
Normally just eyeball. And then what I'm going to do is I'm marking off here where the punch holes are. And this is always a tricky thing.
Because now you need to hand cut that slightly bigger? Or you're just going to punch?
I'm going to try with the punch, you know. I'm just pushing the punch a little bit further in.
I can see. So then it should have...
It should fit.
Oh, perfection.
Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to look at that.
No. Really?
I've lost my tool to distress the edges. Gonna have to live without it.
There's a pair of scissors there for that.
No, I mean the
your inky tool.
The inky tool. I
know. One gets into the habit of these things. Hello, Ziggy. Nearly missed it. Don't worry. So what you have missed is the construction of this lid that you can see Shamela putting this pocket into, but there will be notes and instructions and everything posted by Shamela tomorrow. So don't stress. All you've missed is the construction of how she put together the chipboard base. There you go. Now you get to use your spare piece.
I get to use my piece, and I want that color in. So, okay, now for me, I think a lot of the time, choosing the papers, you know, how you choose the colors is kind of important, because I just use my eyes generally. And I mean, I'm not a professional artist and I don't have color theory and all that. So I kind of just use my eyes and decide which side of the paper or which papers I prefer to work with.
Yeah, it's personal choice. One. It's like some people have tea with sugar, other people have it without.
Yeah, so I'm liking that. I would have wanted to use that for my pocket though, because I like the V on there. Decisions. I could just put a black piece in there, which I do have.
That'll solve that problem.
Let me be stingy. No, man, the pattern paper looks nice. I've been so indecisive here. Let's see.
You're just being a real crafter. This is normal at all our
I
desks. We can
know.
all relate.
Oh, I think I want that. How about using the books? That will work really nicely on top there.
That will look good, yes.
Yes. I like the books. So, I'm also just going to use a pencil to mark off the measurements, plus minus, because now I want it to be. So now we'll put this in here and see how far down that goes. Where's my ruler? So we need about 2.5 inches to cover that raw edge. So I'm not going to stick paper right down to the bottom. We don't need it. Right?
No,
Does that
we
make
don't.
sense?
Crafty I Am Ida is choosing third shelf down on the right-hand side with the blue book. You're getting input. Let's see what she chooses, Ida. And Blanche is saying, yes, decisions, decisions.
It's very difficult, especially if you're a skinflint like me. You don't want to waste anything. Okay.
I like that. Yes, and
I do too.
my dad is saying the choice of papers is always hard, and what makes her lose time too when she's making an album. But it makes a big
not,
difference.
It does. It does.
It's worth taking the time.
It's worth spending your time making that decision. So I'm just going to peel some part of that away. Then I'm going to try and center it. And hope that it's straight.
Okay, now I have a question. I would have put the books in first.
I'm going to slide the books into the pocket. Like so.
But you cut them bigger than the pocket, so I'm confused.
No, I did snip off an extra piece.
Oh, there you go.
I want it to fit inside because otherwise it's going to go beyond that, and then
Yes.
that's not going to work for me.
Okay, so now I see why you did it like that. Okay.
Woo!
No!
Oh my word, I actually prefer that. What do you think? I think I like that better than the books. I'm sorry, Belinda.
You are such a crafter through and through. That's hysterical.
My eyes are telling me that the
And my mom is having such a laugh. I don't know if you can hear her behind me. It's so funny.
So I'm the alternative side of the paper. Okay. We like that. I like that.
Perfect. You know, I don't think you could have
the
cut
paper
that
is so stunning.
more
Anything
accurately if you tried.
Yeah. I like that. So we've got that. Right. Let me see where's my notes to see, make sure I'm on track here.
We're on page 124 on your notes.
Right, done that. Okay, so now we can add the paper to the outside of our box. And it's optional at this point, after we've done everything, whether you want to put paper on the inside of the lid. But we first need to add other things to that before we can do the inside. So this has to be my other absolute favorite piece of paper.
Oh, yes.
I love this one.
I have to put another order, and I so wish I use that for everything. That and the books. Oh my word.
I just think it's stunning. So I don't know which part I want now. So, okay, first I'm going to cut off the strips because I love these little strips, and I like to keep them intact because then I can always use it for something else. And my measurement of my lid is, so we're going to cut this. This is 8.5, and I'm going to cut it at 8 3/8 by 5 7/8.
Helen started something. She said, because you're supposed to be sort of putting other people's names forward for pizza boxes. She put her own name forward for a pizza box because she likes Stamperia, and now Sharon van der West hasn't done the same. I don't blame you. Sky blue, that one is a rice paper. That rust effect is a rice paper.
There is a rice paper like this, yes. So.
Oh, thank you, Susie. And Gayleen. Yes, Susie. I buy more than 2 sets. Believe me, I buy them in bulk. All the samples that I make and so on, I go through those things like water. They're amazing backgrounds for everything. And yes, everybody's loving this one.
This is a favorite. I really love this one. So if you look at the edges here, you can see that my chipboard is a little bit exposed. And all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of paint and paint it in. So we're using Allegro Nero or black. Feels like mine is coming to an end.
I unscrew the cap and just nab some from the inside then.
I know. I do that too. I get every little bit out of it. So there we go. Camouflaged. I'm really sad about my blending tool that's disappeared.
It's gone AWOL in the Bermuda Triangle of your crafted desk. Sorry, it must just be my Bermuda Triangle just going through the airwaves all the way to you. It was here. Sorry.
Before I started the live, it was here.
Of course it was.
Anyways.
Gravity sucks. Look on the floor.
It's not on. I don't think it's on the floor. Okay. So there we go. We can attach.
And for those of you who want to know about the rice paper, there is the code. Thank you, Ida. Cora, not a problem. What you are witnessing now is Shamela is now decorating the box lid. So she has already pre-prepared her suitcase base, and she's shown us all how to construct the lid. And basically constructing the base and constructing the lid is identical.
That's the same.
And she basically used black cardstock to join everything together. And now she is using various of the Lady Vagabond backgrounds pad paper to cover the box.
So I'm going to add paper to all 3 sides except the front. And the reason for that is we need to add our magnets here before we put the paper on.
And I always forget that part. I get so excited about gluing things on.
I also, that's why when I do stuff like this, I will write on here like magnet in pencil because I know I'm going to cover it anyway. So that is the front because that's where the pocket goes. Trust me, I would probably do it the wrong way around.
Oh, I've glued card fronts onto card bases backwards, so they've suddenly become, sort of, there are various countries that read the opposite way from right to left. Israel's one of them. So, yes. So everybody is loving the project already.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to cut the papers for this, and I'm going to cut it. This is 1 inch, so I'm going to cut it about 3/4 inch, or just more than 3/4 inch, maybe 7/8 by the length, which is, I'll do 8 1/4, because this is about 8 1/2. So cut my on that side.
Can I just be a worrywart? And I can see your, it's probably been there forever, but I've just noticed that your wet wipe is
Top.
lying on your paper.
Oh, thank you.
And the top is not
On your
on
glue.
something.
That is, I'm famous for that. My glue always gets blocked up. Let's go that size. So I'm just cutting my 2 sides. One, 2.
You were bothering Ida as well. She was also going to ask if it was wet. Yes, she used it to clean her fingers on after she painted the little corners and then dropped it on the paper. And I'm like, that's going to end badly.
Definitely. Okay, so that's the front. Let's not stick it down there.
Lady Vagabond with the Parisian street background is my favorite Lady Vagabond paper. Oh, thanks, Chantel.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, I have favorites. It's so hard. It's like having children. You're not allowed to have favorites as the designer, but I can't.
You can't.
I find
But
myself.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure
Well,
you have.
it's a problem because, you know, I've got to make samples and things for various, you know, whether it's for Hachanda or, you know. Mom saying, no, not that side. What side, Mom? I can hear you.
I said, no, not that side, because I'm talking to myself. I do that a lot. I'm supposed to glue the magnets there first.
Yes. Yes. Mom's onto you. But of course, she's watching on her iPad behind me in the lounge, and it's about a minute and a half's delay. So by
Thank
the time
you so much.
you're on it. You've fixed it already. Yes, Terry.
You see, that's why writing the word magnet on there is important.
I would need it in something a lot more bold than just pencil. Terry was in one of my workshops, and there was a compass that was being used, and hers disappeared off her desk. It was there and it was gone. Took her a month to find it.
Oh, no.
I just saying hello to my mom. Oh, and now that's my mom's phone ringing. Can't. It sounds like birds. We don't have cuckoos in the lounge, I promise. Oh, and Marie Noel ordered extra forte glue for the first time. You won't be sorry.
Oh, it's wonderful. I keep it for special occasions. Right, so we've got that done. And now I didn't have a chain on my bag to hold it up like this, because I only had one chain and I had to keep it for today. So
you could always use a piece of ribbon.
I've got, you see, my mom gave me a whole treasure trunk of broken jewelry, and this was part of it. So I've got a small piece of chain. I've added some jump rings, and so we just need to make a hole for this to fit into there, and then it will fit on the base so that the lid will stay up. And the reason why we're doing it at this point is it's fine for the brad to be on the outside because it becomes a decorative item, but on the inside, if you're splitting it, you want it to be covered up. it's not nice to see that split. So I'm going to make the holes for that quickly. And so if we're looking at, so we need to do it on both the base and the top. Just move my stuff out of the way. Oh, look how cute.
Oh, it looks so nice.
So we need to do it on both the base and the top. So let me check my measurements quickly. So for the lid, we're going to start off at kind of in the middle there. So if we look at the center point, this is 1 inch, so the middle is 1/2 inch. And I'm going to, I think I told myself about 1/2 inch from the gap, from the back. So it's more or less there. See? Plus minus. Okay.
Hello, Luciana.
So I'm hoping that the crocodile is going to reach. Nope, not. So we're just going to poke it with something.
Poke it all, mind your fingers.
Too. I know, I've poked my fingers so many times already. And I've actually bent the pokey tool already.
It's industrial chipboard you got going there.
Yeah. I do have one of those, what do you call it? Japanese screw punches, which I should be using.
What are you going to put through this? Just a brad?
Just a brad, yes. So it doesn't, the hole doesn't need to be too big. But you remember we're going through tape and lots of cardstock there. So there's the one hole. And then I'm just gonna eyeball the other one.
Are you putting 2 on? Okay.
Yeah, so one on either side. Just see. Oh, so silly. Tamal's ruler has got a measuring option there. That's why I bought the ruler in the first place.
Yeah, but we get so used to doing things in a certain way. We have habits.
Indeed. Okay, so we've got 2 holes there. And I don't know where I got these brads with really big heads. So, and I only have like a few. So, what the other thing that I use, and let me show you because this is what I used on my suitcase originally. These are studs that they use on handbags.
Oh, from the haberdashery store?
I actually buy it at the place that does leather woodheads.
Oh, yes. I
get it from them. And it's really, really nice because it finishes off beautifully. Now, where's that? My hole is not big enough. So I've just grabbed my other tool that has it's like a gradient. I'm sure many of you have it. So it goes from thin to fat. Hello, where did the brad go? Oh, it's in there.
In the chain.
Okay. So we're going to put the chain in and split the brad.
Break nail here.
That's why I can't have long nails.
I know, I don't either. Sharon van der Westhuizen is saying, stunning and awesome project, Shamela.
Thank you, Sharon. Now the other brad has gone missing. See. Oh, here we are. Here we are.
You mustn't copy my bad habits, Shamela. They're not good.
You see, I even got little. I was looking for something like you have, and I didn't have any, so I took cupcake liners to put my things in.
So cute.
So I thought, oh well, it's Valentine's Day. There's hearts coming. Because my daughter used to bake, and since when she had a third baby, she stopped baking. So we got lots and lots of the stuff in the
I'm
house.
not surprised. One kid's hard enough. I don't know how she does it with 3. Well, she doesn't, clearly.
Yeah, they both have 3 now, so there's 6 grandchildren.
Oh,
But
you are
they've
blessed.
all moved out, and so it's just us here now. Okay, so we've got that, and now we need to make the holes for the base. And those holes have to be 3/4 from the base, from the back. So let's just measure it.
Who says
And
grafters didn't have to be mathematicians?
who says? I know. I wish this ruler was 2 inches wide, actually. Sometimes I need to measure 2 inches, and then I think, no, why wasn't it 2 inches?
Okay, no wonder Carenza is the zombie craft mom, because she also has 3 children. Oh, oh.
Okay, so let's just measure the half.
Ida, you need to make the suitcase and then post it. Because she's
Okay.
saying, lovely Shamila, I need a suitcase.
You're going to have to make one. So we've got that. So I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. Here we go.
I honestly thought your next design team piece would be an album to go inside this.
You did? I wasn't predictable, eh? I did that with the
with the trunk.
With the trunk. I did it with the trunk, yes. But I saw Tamar's one, and her album was so nice. I thought, oh gosh, no, I'm not even going to try and make another album now. Well, the kind of my project for this time round does have an album. Now I'm giving away too much. Way too much. So where was I? About 1 inch. That's half. 1 inch.
Ida made, she said, I was going to make a suitcase for my nephew's album, but I just gave him the album.
Oh, no,
I know it's
man.
exciting when you've made something and you just want to give it to the person.
I know. But you know what? If I make something, I find it very, very hard to part with it. I really find it tough to part with, because a lot of times the people whom you gift these things to, they don't always appreciate it.
No, this is true.
So, you put blood, sweat, and tears into it, and then they say, oh, thanks. Kind of hurts your feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like, oh, thanks, is that it? Oh, thanks. So I want people to say, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so stunning. How did you manage that?
I don't think, sometimes I honestly don't think that people realize that you've made it. I mean, a lot of your stuff is so professional that people might have thought, I mean, a lot of people obviously know you make stuff. So, your friends and family should know that. But other people might not even realize that it's handmade. And Marie Noel is saying, too cute to give away. We agree.
Absolutely. So in order to hold those 2 pieces together, I've got, and I will show you in my project that I made for this month, how I have used every little tiny bit of my stone paper. Even the tiniest scrap I will never part with. I don't drop anything, because I know there's always a place where I can use it. And I will show you when I do my video for my project for this month, where I use the tiniest piece of offcut. And
Stone
it's so
paper is so
useful.
strong, though. It's so
I love
useful.
this stuff. I
Every
really
little
love it.
scrap is worth saving.
Absolutely. So I don't have end-to-end coverage of tape here. And because of that, I'm actually going to add glue as well, just to make sure. So I'm just going to eyeball the middle. I'm not going to be very particular there. That looks okay. And so this is going to be our hinge at the back.
Marie Noel says she's got boxes of scraps. Yes, that's why we called scrapbookers.
I should have made my chain slightly shorter. I'll amend that. Okay.
Or you could have just put the holes further forward.
Say again?
The holes where you joined the bottom, you could have just brought them further forward.
Oh, I see what you mean. I wasn't sure because I didn't put it in the other one, so I didn't know how much to take away. Okay, so now we need to put in our little goodies that holds the strap.
Oh, that holds the chain. And it's also stone paper. Clever.
This is also stone paper. And this I got at the same place. The only thing is they sell this in bulk. So, you know, if you need two, I did buy extras because I'm going to do kits with this. So if you need more than, you know, you just need two, you can just get it from someone who already has it available. Let's see if the crocodile is going to work here. No. So I actually wanted to put this in the center. Let me see. 6. Okay, that's round about the center. So we need to make holes here as well.
Somebody was asking for your YouTube channel. I've just put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you. So this weekend in South Africa, we have National Scrapbook Day. You were involved with our very first one. Do you remember?
Oh, only too well, yes. How many years have you guys been doing it now?
Oh my gosh. So for the last 2 years, it's been online obviously because of COVID. So we're having it online again this year. Which year did you leave?
Online, yes.
Which year? We did the flamingo theme.
I still did 2019 with you, and then I left in March of 2019. So I did the first 2.
2018 was our first one then. Am I right? Yes.
I'm trying to think of the different themes that we did.
I think 2018 was our first one. And you know, at that event, we only had we had 70 people at that one.
At the first one, yeah.
At the first one. When we did the last one now, we had over 100 people. And we had to turn people away. The southern suburbs has become so popular with National Scrapbook Day. But anyway, this weekend, it's online this weekend. So I'm doing a little notebook cover. And even though the prizes are only available for locals, but I mean, it's a non-stop crafting for 2 solid days. Michelle van Wyk has
put it together. I don't know how she has the patience to organize it every year.
Amazing. So from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. for the 2 days, she's going to be sitting in front of that computer.
It's amazing. She's just amazing.
She
Anna's
is.
saying, Shamila, I do love your accent. Don't know why your voice always makes me smile and your projects
Oh,
make me dream.
sweet. That's so kind of you. So we've got that in. I just need to hammer that in, so at least you can see how it looks, how it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to, so what I've done is, these are Lady Vagabond molds. And I have got the mold here. It is K3PTA4518. I love this mold. It's got every
518.
518. That mold has got all things on there that I wished I had. So it's perfect. So we are oh wait, let me just see. Do I want to touch metal corners? Okay, let me do the corners first. I think this is also something that because I made my own little corner. Oh, let me put, I'm so indecisive at the moment. I'm going to glue this down, so hopefully it can dry while we're doing the box corners.
Okay.
And I'm
Agnieszka
using
has to
extra
go.
strong
She will catch
glue
up later. No problem.
because I've run out of glossy gel and I'm not happy about that, but what can we do? Just want to measure this.
And
So
Karenza
I'm
is
putting
pulling her ceramic powder mold out of that one right now as we speak. Aha.
Oh, cool. I don't think we can get that here though.
It's a powder that you mix with water. You can't get the Tarantica. No, that's the gold wax.
Yeah.
But Stamperia's
I do
ceramic
have it
powder
though.
you can get. I'm sure it would
Is
just
it?
weigh a ton.
I know, then it's not going to be viable for us because the exchange rate is already. I must check if we have something locally that's similar. But I love the resin that we have at the moment. It works really well. The AMT resin is nice. 1 and
Yeah, because of course you can't get the. I don't think the crystal resin can ship either.
So there's lots of things that they can't ship to us here. So I've glued that down, and these are just painted with black paint, and you can see it's not a perfect job, but I'm going to distress it anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And so the box corners. Now, lots of people asked me how I made the box corners, and that's why I haven't prepped it yet, because I can show you. Now, the size of my box corners, I made 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square. So I've got 4 of these. And all we're going to do is, all we're going to do is score it at 7/8
In the middle.
right in the middle. So we're doing all 4. And I'm using, they don't make this cardstock, well, they don't import this cardstock into South Africa anymore. I think it's discontinued. But it's like the Curious Metal, the chocolate version of it, which is really nice. There's so many different papers that have been discontinued because the demand isn't sufficient to keep them bringing them in. So we're going to fold and burnish all those score lines. And
just remind me again, which side do you fold
towards the bubble.
I always forget.
We've got our dented side, and we fold.
You know, many times I've gone back to one of your videos to see which side must I fold towards. Shamela always knows.
Okay. And then we're going to round those corners. So we round all 4 corners. Just empty that out. Because if it's full, then it doesn't snip properly.
Ziggy says, me like you very much.
Oh, I'm so happy. I was a little bit nervous today. I don't know why.
Breathe, just breathe. Doesn't help that you got...
No, I said to Shafiq, the funny thing is before the time you have like all these palpitations and stuff, and then when you go on, then it's all fine. So it's just the run up to the whole thing, like
Tamar's in the house.
3 o'clock.
Hello,
Hi,
Tamar.
Tamar. Okay, so now we've got that, and all we're going to do is to snip from that end into that corner there where the
Into the
2
middle.
score lines cross each other, and you fold.
So clever.
Shall I do that again? So
Well, you've got 4 to do it on, so yes.
and
Ta-da!
fold.
Like a magic trick.
And I'm just putting some glue on.
She was commenting on Facebook and felt like it wasn't seen. In all honesty, Tamar, what happens is the comments come up so quickly because I've got both YouTube and Facebook going on, and everybody every now and again goes on a mission to suggest somebody else for a pizza box, and then I miss there's Karen in the house, hello, and then I missed.
I just wanted to ask you, I watched the Stamperia live yesterday, and the screen was like only 3/4. I watched it on my iPad, and like most of it was black. Have they changed the settings or something?
I'm not sure. I did watch yesterday the one between Christina and
who was on?
It was Christina and now I've gone blank.
I watched part of it. Luciano. Yeah.
It was fine on my side.
But even when I did my live last night on Facebook, when I because I sign up on my iPad so I can follow the comments and stuff. And the same thing happened. It was just a tiny screen. You can't get full. Well, I couldn't get full screen unless I'm missing something.
Sometimes, I've switched to watching on YouTube 9 times out of 10 because as soon as I start watching on Facebook, I get like the little it says it gives me a little message. This will resume as soon as something or other, and it's like every 2 or 3 minutes. It's so irritating.
Yeah.
So I often start off on Facebook because that's where I get my notification, and then I head over to YouTube. So if you guys are having issues, by all means head over to YouTube.
It's a Facebook problem because I was watching another live on some other group one day. I just came across it and they were all having the same problem. Okay,
beautiful corner and so easy. There you go.
Yeah. So there we go. We can put the corners on. And I've just got 4, so I'll just put 4 on.
Tamar's message is, Shamela, your box is so cool.
Thank you,
I was saying earlier you should use the Tarantica. Did you already finish everything I sent you?
No. Tamar sent me all the colors. Oh, craps, man. Sorry, I forgot to put my... Hold on. My magnets, guys. You didn't remind me.
Oh, distracted.
No, I am so holy over those waxes.
Well, right now you're famous because Karenza has you on her TV.
Oh, wow.
You can say you've been on TV now. You're on Karenza's TV.
Okay, so I have just put little dots of glue on my magnets, just so I can mark where I need to put my tape.
Everybody's loving your project and your corners, saying they're so clever.
Thank you. So my goodies are not 100% dry yet.
Hello, Bianca. Sending kisses. And we've got Tamar saying hello to Karenza. It's our teammates in the chat.
And we can now attach this piece. And then the corner
Then we can
goes
put
on.
the corners on.
Then
Okay.
we can put the corner on.
Yes. Shamela makes everything look easy, and she has golden hands. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
That's from Tamar.
That's so funny you saying that. Last night I did we did just like a little bit of layering mixed media card thing because I had nothing prepared. And I tried to cut a layer for the card, and a third time lucky, I measured wrong 3 times.
Oh my word. And
And I'm
Susie's
like,
saying like a carpenter or a seamstress, and I know, measure
like,
twice, cut
why?
once.
And I made rulers for my card group at the end of the year as a gift to say, and on the ruler I put measure twice, cut once, and I said, why do I not listen to myself?
Because it's do as I say, not as I do.
It was so funny. Oh my word.
Hello, Philomena. Welcome.
So now our corners can go on. I was so proud of myself when I figured out how to make these corners because I wanted corners so badly. And
Well, why didn't you use the ones
anyway.
from the you know that there are corners on the one mold?
No, I know, but I'm talking about a few years ago.
Oh,
When
okay.
I made my first suitcase. I could not find corners, like metal corners anywhere. So there we go. And what I did was with my one, I just, you know, those little clear glass flat beads or bubbles. I just used that and I distressed it. So that is, that's how I did that. And of course, we use the turquoise, you've got those codes for that. Turquoise, brown,
the paint.
and
KAL.
paint. Yeah,
turquoise is KAL 25.
And 106 or 103?
106 is earth.
106, and the other one, I should know these by heart by now.
Oh, believe me, I think I do, and then I double check myself every time.
Okay, so now we need to do the little pockets. I'm not going to make more corners for that. You get the idea, don't you?
Yep.
Let's just make the pockets quickly. So our pockets measure 3 3/4 by 3 inches.
Lots of hearts from Valeria.
Oh, thank you. So there we go. That's
and Craftier Ida is saying fantabulous.
Oh, thank you. And we are going to score. So like the pocket previously, we're scoring on 3 sides. Sorry, I think I just need to close this curtain because there's a glare in our way. better. That's better. Sorry, I should have closed it before we started. I forgot that the sun will come this afternoon.
Okay, Marion Noel has to go. Mary Noel. Oh, me and my dyslexia. Bye, Marion Noel. See you later.
Okay, and we're going to apply tape. So when I make pockets, I only put tape until the first core line because we cut out that little piece anyway. We don't need to put tape right through because it's going in the bin.
Okay, so I found her message because the comments are coming through so quickly. I'm struggling to keep up. That's not a bad thing. It's but every now and again I miss one, and then I see somebody respond to something, and I'm thinking, "What did I miss? What did I miss?"
Okay, and we're folding towards the bubble. There we go.
Towards the bubble, fold towards the bubble. It should be my mantra. Towards the bubble. It's like yesterday I had taken the rubbish bag out of my little craft room dustbin here, taken it to the kitchen, and then got distracted by something in there. I don't remember what it was. Came back to my craft room and I was like, oh flip, I forgot to bring a packet. So I went back to the kitchen and did something else, came back, no packet.
Typical.
So I walked past my mom going, plastic bag, plastic bag, plastic bag, plastic bag, all the way to the kitchen.
Oh dear. Like Wissal will tell me do something, say send a message. So I pick up my phone and then I've got messages on my phone.
Yeah.
So I will read it, reply to it and put the phone down, and then she'll say, did you forget why you picked up your phone? Did you forget? It's been like 1 minute, not even a minute.
I'll do exactly the same thing. I'll be busy with something on my desk and then I'll need a code for something, because I try now when I'm designing my projects to write in my notebook the codes, and sometimes for whatever reason the code isn't on the piece of paper or whatever anymore because I've cut it off, I've thrown the packaging away. So I need to go online and check the code. So then I open my computer and there's emails and Facebook messages and go down those rabbit holes, and then I sit there and I think, I opened my computer for a reason and it was none of what I've just done.
Exactly. I'm so glad I'm not the only one, honestly, because I sometimes feel like I'm losing it because I'm doing too many things at the same time. It's like your brain is operating faster than your body.
All the time. But
Okay, so we've got our little pockets, and I am just going to snip into there to miter those two corners.
To stop them sticking out.
Yeah, and also if you want to stick something in there, then those little corners sometimes the little piece you put in gets stuck on those top edges. Good point. There. So let's do the flap that comes on top, and let me see, do I have the measurements? Let me measure. Ruler. Measurement seems to have gone missing. So we need, now let me explain to you quickly before I cut the flap. So this is 2 3/4. So when I cut the flap, it actually needs to fit inside this piece. So I'm going to cut my flap at 2 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 2 5/8 so that it slides in perfectly. And I just want to measure the length.
Crafty I am. Sometimes I need to go back through that door a few times before it comes back to me. I wish that trick worked. I'm glad it works for you. It doesn't always work for me. Because they say go back to where you were when you thought of it. And sometimes I'll go back there and again, go down the next rabbit hole or have squirrel moment and see something else that I should be doing, should have done, didn't do.
I know that backtrack doesn't always work for me either. So we've got the 2 7/8 piece, and this is where we need to score. So we're scoring with the 2-inch side at the top. We're scoring at 1/2 inch.
Blanche, it's okay. You don't have to put the measurements up, although she's translating beautifully for us. Shamela will be doing
Notes
for us for tomorrow. Yes, the problem is there's no door. That could be. I do not have a door on my studio. My studio is a pinched off piece from the lounge using calyx units. That's the problem. There you go. No door.
Fortunately, I have a door I can close. Now, Auntie Nabi popped in here today because she came to pick up something. I'm going to just snip off the edges of that as well. And she said, I found you yesterday in this room. You're in this room today again. Your husband, you're taking no notice of him. I was like, sorry, very busy prepping. There's no time for husband this
Well, I mean,
week.
if you look, okay, we've been going, you've probably been working for an hour and a half solid on this project. And I mean, when you design it, it takes time. And remember,
Takes longer.
You've already done the base. So designing anything takes a lot of time and preparation to make things run smoothly. Yeah. So
even when you're doing a class online, I take almost a whole day just to prep what I plan to do, etc. So it does take up quite a bit of time.
But I think people really appreciate that.
I'm sure our ladies appreciate it. They might not realize it.
Sky Blue saying you work really fast. She's amazed. It's because she's organized.
I think I'm organized. So let me just get the measurements for the pockets quickly to see how far. So it's 1/2 inch.
They do appreciate you and all the time that everybody takes to do all these projects.
I know people do. They enjoy it. So I'm going to measure about 1.5 inches from the bottom and 1/2 inch. Well, let's make it 1 inch from the side.
Nicole is saying this is a gorgeous project.
Oh, thank you. Nicole is a regular on my page, on my tutorial. Nicole.
This is Nicole from America, Nicole Palos.
Oh, no. And I'm talking about Nicoletta.
Yeah.
Just marking that.
Renee is saying this part is just the duck above the water. The big work was already done. True.
So I want my pockets to be aligned. Let me just do 1.5. So
Susie's saying she cannot get her eyes off that paper. I know it's my favorite. That and the book and the whole rust.
I love this rust. This is a dream come true for me. Okay, so I've just marked off with a little pencil so that my pockets are kind of more or less in line. And very often, I just use the pencil line as a guide. Sometimes if I stick it down and it doesn't look like it's in line, I'll adjust it. I think that's a bit too high. I'm going down a bit. So these are just just for my personal 1.25. For my personal, I'm a little bit pedantic about that, so
It's okay. Makes my heart
yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I would hate to have them one high and one low on my bag. And when I do stuff like this, I always put a little bit of glue as well. So I have a few seconds to change
Wiggle
my
room.
mind. Yep. So where's my pencil mark? I think it's that.
And commit.
Commit. And we commit.
The hardest part.
There we go. And number 2.
I can see your pencil line sticking out. Have you got an eraser?
I do have an eraser, yes.
Sorry, that's just me being pedantic.
No, I do have an eraser.
Hello, Lucia.
And the eyes are so bad that I need to make a dark pencil line so I can actually see it.
Yes, Hetty, I have been crafting for more than 30 years as well. Try moving countries with it all. That was interesting.
Okay, and now your little top flap fits in there. And the reason why I'm putting some glue in there because I wanted to slide in.
Yes, otherwise the tape sticks and then you're...
Yeah, and we're sliding it just before that score line.
You don't want to be too tight or it won't stay flat.
Just burnish this one.
Addis is saying, beautiful.
Thank you. Center and commit. Okay, so we can put our magnets. I normally put my magnets on the top here and one at the bottom, and it gets covered with designer paper. I haven't cut any paper for that yet, but basically I think you get the idea. I am just going to glue on my, what did I do with my handle? So there's the handle.
That's upside down.
Oh gosh, thank you. I thought it looked a bit strange.
Well, if the handle was real, it could flop both ways, but yeah.
You know how I wish this handle could, and I was trying to figure out how do I get can I get the hinged, the handle to go. But if you join 2, you can.
Yes,
You know
I was
what I
going to
mean?
say, if you join 2 with some stone paper in between, you can actually make a hinge.
You can. So if you join 2, you can. I don't have any glossy gel, so I don't think I'm going to put it on. I need to get glossy gel for this because it needs to stay.
Yes.
And so basically that is it. And then you can distress your... Oh, how I did the handle was I painted it with black Allegro paint, and then I just mixed, when it was almost dry, I brushed gold into it, which is the L01. That's the one I have. I think it's 01. So yes. I will just add more of the rusting color to it and rust everything else up. And
can you put the finished one next to this one, then people can see what you're talking about?
So that's the one. And there's the other one. So that's the hinges on the top. I don't have any more of these. In fact, I got it
The
in my
Stamperia
kit.
corners.
Yeah,
Yes.
the corners. So that's an optional thing. And then you can see here, I just
Oh, how you've
rusted
added the brick red and the turquoise and the earth. Yeah.
to that. And then this was a necklace that I bought myself a long time ago. I wore it once. It was so heavy around my neck. I thought I was going to die. So I put it on here with the idea that this was temporary. I'm not sure. I was looking for a piece of soft leather or something. Or
But it works well.
It does. And so I'm leaving it on. And at the time I didn't have those D rings, so I just used the Stamperia album rings here.
And that also works. Yes, those are easy to
works. So that you can do, and this you can put on afterwards because it does open and close. So that's there. And yeah, this is the inside. We've got the
And you've
paper
just
on the
put paper on
inside.
the inside. And I see you've used a bit of stenciling on the pocket.
I did some stenciling on that one as well. Yes. So I hope you guys like this project. I hope you're going to try your hand at it. It's not so hard. I mean, I think it's a doable task, don't you?
Absolutely doable, and you make it look easy. So I would love to see what people do and their choice of papers.
It would be amazing. It would be really nice to see. Because if I'm going to start distressing, we're going to be here till tomorrow. Because that is my therapeutic time. I love doing this. Oh my word, it is it's fun for me. I enjoy that so much. So and I deemed it at our Stamperia day that we had, and for me that was so much fun to just to add paint and add paint and add paint, because it's a never ending thing for me. I love it. I love doing that distressing. So yeah, so that's it.
Okay, I'm going to just put something on the screen while you can just change your camera around, and let's put the cover for this on. So I have seen that one of my design team, Radovan, is going to be doing the presentation of Provence on the 8th. So okay, I can see your pretty face, your back, and let me meet you. Thank you so much. That was really, really awesome. You put so much behind the scenes work in. That was really awesome.
I'm glad.
And everybody has really, really enjoyed it and really appreciated all your little hints and tips and all the attention to detail.
Thank you so much.
And everybody's had a wonderful morning and all the just chit chats. Yes, that Radovan will be doing the Provence on the 8th. Beatrice, everybody's saying thank you, lots of hearts.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
I look forward to seeing everyone's
in
suitcases.
Last minute pizza boxes. Thanks, Tamar. It was great to have you in the chat. Thanks, Crafty Am. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
My hometown. So
thanks, everyone.
Yes, so we will wait for you to, so you can put the instructions in my group, Belinda's Creative Inspiration for Everybody, in your group. I will we will post them on Stampers Worldwide, and don't forget to ask your shops to pre-book you all the latest papers.
Our new order, ours have been shipped. So if you're in South Africa, it should be here in the next 7 to 10 days, around about the 8th of Feb. So hopefully it's going to fly through customs and we can have it soon.
From your lips to customs ears, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for spending your afternoon, morning, evening, middle of the night.
Midnight.
Goodness knows what time it is there. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.